Good evening. Welcome, everyone. This is our favorite meeting of the year. We get to hear some wonderful singing and/or musical playing by some great and talented children. I'd like to call the meeting to order at this time. Pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10-4-10, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by advertising such notice in the Home News Tribune, Asbury Park Press, the board office, the schools on Cablevision Channel 118, Verizon Fios Channel 24, and by filing such notice with the Township Clerk. Meeting was scheduled for this evening, Tuesday, December 16th, 2014. The board will take formal action on agenda items. Mr. Mayor?
The Old Bridge Township Board of Education acknowledges that the law of this state establishes that members of the public, including members of the board, have the right to record public board meetings using audio or video recording devices, provided that that act of recording does not interfere with the business of this public board meeting. Therefore, the board makes it known that any such recording is to be considered the private recording of the individual and in no manner represents the official record of this board. The board therefore takes no responsibility for such private recording and completely disavows any future use.
Thank you, Mr. Mara. Roll call, please.
Borsili?
Here.
DePrima?
Here.
Dunn?
Here.
Hopman?
Here.
Mungan?
Here.
Singh? Silikowski?
Here.
Weber? Andriani?
Here.
Quorum exists.
Thank you very much. Mr. Weber did call me earlier. He had a little late running work business meeting. He said he should be here by business portion of the meeting, 7:30 or so. Mr. Singh is in India, and I believe he has just gotten back, so I'm hoping he will make an appearance at this time. Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, at this time we're going to break from our normal sequence of agenda items, and we will have a wonderful music presentation by Mr. Bernie Matthews with the Old Bridge High School Orchestra, which I've been told has been very successful and has expanded by leaps and bounds in the last few years. Did I get that right, Mrs. Keeler? Yes, I did. All right, Mr. Matthews, take it away. Behind curtain number 2.
Due to time constraints, we won't be playing the rest of the opera. So we'll be playing excerpts of the Nutcracker Suite. Hope you enjoy. before we play our absolute last excerpt, I want to thank just about everyone in this room. In fact, everyone in this room, from Ms. Keeler to Mr. Cittadino to every administrator who's helped me along the way and hence helped build this. Their parents, and of course them, these talented kids, I can't tell you what a pleasure it is to come to work every day. They make it very easy to wake up in the morning, and they know how early that actually is. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I really lead a charmed life conducting this group. I also want to recognize Dominic Guarnaccia. Stand down. Congratulations he made it into region band. Great job, Dom. Everyone. I guess you guys can go.
We'd like to resume at this point, if that's possible. I know that this is being filmed. We're waiting for our technical crew to get into position. And there they go. Ladies, tell me when you're ready. Mrs. Walsh, you have a thumbs up? Okay. Since we went off track with our agenda items, we need to resume. We're going to start up with our portion of the meeting that is a memorial portion, and we do have an acknowledgement. If you wouldn't mind standing up for a moment of silence. And we'd like to move the board to acknowledge the death of Renee Levy, who was a retired paraprofessional, and we express our deepest sympathy to her family and friends. And if we could just have a minute, that would be appreciated. Thank you very much. Ms. Mongan has volunteered to read the Code of Ethics, and we're ready at that time, whenever you are, Ms. Mongan.
Every board member will refer all complaints to the Chief Administrative Officer and act on the complaints at public meetings only after failure of an administrative solution.
Thank you very much, Ms. Mongan. Before we have approval of the minutes, we have quite a few housekeeping details that Mr. Mara will run through for you. We have addendum changes and administrative changes.
Thank you, Mrs. Andriani. Members of the public, there are administrative corrections affecting motions on the published agenda. A schedule of those corrections is up here at the front for your review. However, additional corrections came in to the office after 4 o'clock, and on page 17 of the agenda, item number 14G, please cross out Michelle Curtis and add Kathy Gramata, and in parentheses, note 122314. Tonight also there is an addendum, so please refer to the addendum under curriculum, item number 9. The second line should say not to exceed $6,000 instead of the $4,000. Please correct that. And further down, Steve Laperta should be Steve Laperuta, P-E-R-U-T-A, and it should indicate one writer at 10 hours. Thank you, Mrs. Andriani.
Others on here?
They saw those.
Okay. So we're ready? Okay. All right, at this point, I need a motion to accept the addendum.
Mongan will move.
Thank you, Ms. Mongan. Do I have a second?
Hartman will second.
Thank you, Ms. Hartman. We need a roll call. Mr. Mara?
Borsili?
Yes.
DePrima?
Yes.
Dunn?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes.
Mongan?
Yes.
Silikowski?
Yes.
Andriani?
Yes.
Okay, the motion to accept the addendum passes.
Thank you. Thank you. We're at minutes. Correct? All right, at this point, we will have a vote on the approval of minutes. So I need a motion to approve the minutes.
Mongan will move.
Thank you, Ms. Mongan.
Borsili will second.
Thank you, Mr. Borsili. Roll call, Mr. Mara?
Borsili?
Yes.
DePrima?
Yes.
Dunn?
Yes.
Hartman?
Yes.
Mongan?
Yes.
Silikowski?
Yes.
Andriani?
Yes.
Motion 1 passes.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Anderson, are we ready? No one can see you behind that wonderful poinsettia, so why don't you slide over a little bit so people at home can see your smiling, beautiful face. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
The OBHS app launched today and is available now on the App Store for iPhones and Google Play for Androids. Our student creator, John Shamus, presented the app today at the launch, which was a success. And we are very proud of his amazing talents and contribution to the school that will change Old Bridge High School forever. Our Thanksgiving pep rally was a lot of fun with performances by the Urban Culture Club, Step and Dance Team, as well as the Marching Knights. It is considered by many students to be the best one yet. Old Bridge High School also adopted 18 families this holiday season among clubs, peer, and other classes, and we are doing our best to get every item on his or her wish list. The peer program delivered over 600 boxes for Operation Christmas Child, which were sent all over the world. Students are preparing for the fashion show by picking out dresses and tuxes at local prom stores. The fashion show will take place Friday, January 23rd. We are currently in the middle of our holiday spirit week. Yesterday was Mistletoe Monday, wore holiday socks. Today was Candy Cane Day. Tomorrow is Pajama Day, followed by Holiday Character Day and Family Photo Flannel Day. It will continue into next week with Ugly Sweater Day and Holiday Hat Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Anderson. Lots of great things happening. I was at the launch today with several of the board members. It was a phenomenal thing. We'll talk about that in a second. Okay. It's recognition time. We usually don't have a lot of recognition because it's our holiday festival, as it were. We had a wonderful, wonderful musical performance. But, Mr. Cittadino, would you take this, please? Thank you.
Okay, under the superintendent's report, I just wanted to take the opportunity to recognize a few students and one of our staff members. Well, first, I'd like to add with John Shamus, and we're going to have him recognized at our January meeting officially, but that was quite an incredible event today. His talents are way beyond his years, and it really is creating quite a service for the students and the parents of this community, and helping them navigate what can be a very difficult time in their lives as they enter into the largest high schools in the state of New Jersey, with a full academic workload and their own busy teenage schedules. So I'm sure this app will certainly help them. And I thank John for everything he's done for the school district, and I thank the administration at Old Bridge High School and Ms. Fazio for her work in making sure this launch went off seamlessly today. Next, about a week ago, I received an email from the principal, Dr. Suzanne Miskowitz at Cooper School, asking me to stop by because there was an ask. One of the students wanted to ask me a favor. He was creating a wish list that he felt was very special because it affected him personally. So I stopped by Cooper School that morning and met with A.J. Silvestri, a fifth grade class president at Cooper School, and I spoke with him, and together we devised a plan to bring that wish district-wide. And today, Mr. Silvestri asked me again, and he's very bold, this guy. He wants to get this out there. He said, can he stop by the board meeting and speak one more time? And I got to tell you, anything that he has to say, I'm ready to listen. So, AJ, you can please come up to the dais if your mom wants to come with you. His mom is one of our very talented and supportive guidance counselors at the elementary level.
My name is AJ Silvestri, and I am a fifth grade student at Cooper School. I'm the president of Student Council and editor of the school newspaper, the Cooper Chronicle.
Ms. Silvestri, I just want him to start because we can't hear him. I just need him to back up. Okay. I know it's hard. Just pull him away from the microphone. There you go.
Should I start again?
Yeah, start over because we couldn't hear you, and like you said, everything to say is important.
Is there a platform or something for him to stand on?
There is.
Usually
there is.
There we go. Now everybody can see.
Now we can see you.
We use the same one for Ms.
There we
Keeler.
go, much better.
Better? Okay, not so close. Let's see.
My name is AJ Silvestri, and
Okay.
My name is AJ Silvestri, and I am a fifth grade student at Cooper School. I'm the president of Student Council and editor of the school newspaper, the Cooper Chronicle. First, I would like to thank Dr. Miskowitz for being there for her students for 6 years. She has always been there for me, and I would like to thank her for that. She taught me many life lessons and taught me what is right and wrong. She does that for all of the students at Cooper School. She demonstrates all 6 pillars of character every day. Cooper will never be the same without Dr. Moskowitz, but we wish her well. I am also here for another reason. I have a disease called cystic fibrosis. Because I have CF, a company called the Make-A-Wish Foundation granted my wish for me and my family. My wish was to meet the Pawn Stars from the History Channel show in Las Vegas. My wish was to meet Sean Lee, the Old Man, Rick, and Big Hoss. For two years ago, my wish was granted. Having my wish granted made me feel like I was invincible. This year, my holiday wish is to help other kids have their wishes granted by the Make-A-Wish Foundation. For every child who writes a Believe letter, Macy's will donate $1 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. My dream is that every child in the Old Bridge schools will write a letter to help my wish come true. Mr. Cittadino took time with me and is helping me have my new wish granted. I feel it is such a great honor every time I walk into Cooper School, knowing that so many people in Old Bridge want to help me. Thank you, Mr. Cittadino, for making my wish come true.
Well, let that be a lesson to everyone. If you have something you want from me, have AJ be your spokesperson, and I can't say no. Okay. Next, you may have noticed under the certified personnel portion of our agenda that we have a retirement within our school district. Our Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum Instruction, Ms. Donna Kibler, is retiring from Old Bridge School District after 46.5 years. I started to think about 46.5 years and what does that mean? And very often, public schools are compared to the private sectors, and I will say, having worked in both, that there's pluses and there's minuses in each one, depending on what you're looking for. A close relative of mine recently retired after 32 years with a private organization, and he was given a quartz watch and a platinum pin for his lapel. I don't know after 46.5 years if there is a precious metal or gem worthy of such a distinction of that many years. So, looking back in September of 1967, when Ms. Kibler began with the Old Bridge School District, I had to do a little research because I mean by no disrespect to this, only to myself as a novice educator in comparison, I was not even born yet in 1967 when Ms. Kibler started her professional career. But it has very little to do with longevity. It has more to do with quality of one's life. And I believe that's clearly what Ms. Kibler has given our Old Bridge School District, the quality of her life. And to the parents and the students of this district, many of who are professionals in this, here in our own ranks, who can claim that say with pride that they had Ms. Kibler as a teacher or a principal. You see, Ms. Kibler, in this role, in her many roles in the Old Bridge School District, is like a bookstore. She's had more titles than Barnes & Noble, and she's played more roles than Susan Sarandon. But, like a bookstore, each of her titles have left their mark upon the racks, and in every role, she set the bar high for every actress to follow. So I want to take this time to thank her for everything she's done for Old Bridge School District, because her impact will go on way beyond anyone in this room's legacy in this district. Because every role that she did perform, she performed so with passion enthusiasm, and a passion for making sure excellence was always there. So I was looking for something that said all that, and it wasn't in gold. And I came across this canvas, and it speaks to Donna Kibler. It talks about her career starting in 1967, her retirement date of February 1st, 2015. And you'll see in every title, every role that she's had in this district, it talks about her roles in the classroom, her fights with cupcakes, her love of children, and her passion for curriculum and excellence. So tonight I present this to you, Ms. Kibler. May it adorn your home, and you always have fond memories of Old Bridge School District.
Thank you. I'm deeply touched, extremely humbled, and I feel like a flat lever. If you know that expression, when we were growing up as kids, we would call for one another. They would say, "Call for me," and when you didn't show up, you were a flat lever. So I kind of feel like a flat lever. But I have to tell you that I've had the most fabulous career. And as Mr. Cittadino said, yes, I've played a number of roles. My greatest role was that of teacher. And I've never forgotten my days in my classroom. And I have to honestly say, the person that I'm eternally grateful to was Mr. Patrick Torrey, because he took a chance on me as a non-degree teacher. I had been teaching at St. Ambrose for 2 years, and I had to fulfill my student teaching requirement in order to get my bachelor's degree, and I had to do it in a public school. So Mr. Torrey took a chance on me. Back in the 60s, there were a lot of us under emergency certification, and I feel that as I progressed through the years, I paid back to him for the chance that he gave me. And I guess the other part that made it so very special to me was that I had the opportunity to work with his 3 daughters, and they were his greatest legacy to this district, that he raised 3 daughters who worked in Old Bridge. He had more than that, but who certainly fulfilled all of his dreams. And perhaps our most recent dream that we fulfilled for him was all-day kindergarten. And it was his daughter and John Ticchio who were the proud pilot teachers for that initiative. And it was certainly this Board of Education that supported that initiative and brought it to fruition. So as I said, I've seen many things come and go in Old Bridge, and it's been wonderful to be a part of all of it. And I'm extremely grateful to all my colleagues, my teachers, supervisors, principals, directors, who came out tonight to share this experience with me. And I wish each and every one of you the same wonderful feeling of success that you've had over the years. And every day is about making memories. And I often say to people, find the good in every day and do something every day to make yourself happy. So I thank you all for making me very happy today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Enough. Thank you for this privilege and honor.
Ms. Kibler, that's one of the nicest and most personalized plaques that I have ever seen. It's absolutely beautiful, is right, and well-deserved.
Yes, yes. Okay, at this time, I'd like to ask our Assistant Superintendent of Schools, Kathy Hooker, to speak of progress towards goals, and we're going to speak about our character education initiative.
Thank you. I'm very proud to announce that we had an additional 8 schools submit applications to the Character.org Foundation for recognition for their practices in character education. We had two of those were elementary schools that are already recognized as state schools, but that are looking to receive national recognition. 4 were elementary schools that utilized the feedback from last year's application to move on to the state level. Sandburg Middle School and Old Bridge High School also submitted applications, and with a lot of help, we submitted the district-wide application. I have to say, having gone through this process several times and serving as a reviewer for the application process last year, Old Bridge's district application is extremely impressive. It was probably not more work than I expected, but the hardest part of the application process was the fact that we had so many things to include and only 2,500 spaces, 2,500 characters including spaces. That's a lot. There's a lot of information to put into that application in a very small amount of space. We had a team of people working on this process for months, but it all came together last week, and we worked through the night editing and tweaking and just trying to make it as perfect as possible. But what I've learned through the process is it's the final stages that brings everyone together. And an impressive example of that is one of our schools had one of their key team members who was unable to come in on the last few days, and the rest of the school pulled together. They went through the paperwork, they went through the application, they went through everything, and they got that application submitted Friday evening before the deadline hit. And I know that that staff member wrote an email on Monday morning when they returned, thanking them, and was so grateful for that team coming together. And it wasn't just the team in that school, it was counselors working and other teachers who had been through the process and staff members and administrators all coming together. That's what this process does for a school and a district. Again, completing the district application was powerful, the evidence that goes along with it. I worked very closely with Sally Fazio and the high school administration putting their application together, and it's that end piece where all of a sudden it clicks, and Ms. Fazio said to me, she said, I can't believe what we have here and what the evidence shows. And that's the significant reduction in the HIB claims, the significant reductions in and out of school suspensions, and how that directly correlates to the success of our students. The highest SAT scores that we've had in Old Bridge history, the number of students in AP classes, the number of students in our specialty programs, our athletes, our band. All of these things were included in the application, but again, it's extremely powerful to pull all of that together. And the information wasn't just from the teachers, the staff, it was from the students. We had, again, our news crew here, our students, Steve Gajewski and his team. In 1 week's time, we said, we need a video, it's part of the application, what can you do for us? They went out to school sites, they interviewed administrators, staff members, and students, and that team came to me on, I think it was Thursday afternoon to interview me, and the girls that came in to do the video said to me, I can't believe what's going on in Old Bridge. So it came from them and their experience as well. This process has helped us to establish consistent core values, a common language, and I believe it's creating leaders within our school. It's not just fluff. It's part of what we are, what we do. John Shamos was incredibly impressive today, and when he started talking about the character component that is part of the Old Bridge app, It says it right there. It's embedded in everything we do. And it's something that, every district should have. So I'm very proud of the application and the work that everyone has contributed to it. Like I said, we had a team of people out there. Karen Longo has been behind the scenes and writing and collecting information along with our counselors, our administrators, and many of our staff members out there. So I thank you. We have a lot to be proud of, and I'm confident that in February, we will have information on additional schools receiving the recognition. So congratulations to everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Hurka. Any more? Okay. While we're in the section of progress towards goals, I would like everyone to know that the Board of Education did meet. We set a few district and board goals and objectives, and they will be listed on the agendas starting in January, whether it makes the January 6th meeting for the reorganization or the January 13th meeting. We're specifically writing out the goals that the board has agreed upon, and they will be right up at the top of the agenda starting in January. So that's my addition for progress towards goals. Mr. Mara, any correspondence? No. All right, special committee reports. Just one second, Mr. Weber, did you note that he is here? Yes? Okay, just checking. Starting at this end, special committee reports, anybody? Mr. Solkowski?
Yes, we had a curriculum meeting and a technology meeting, and I want to thank the board members that came, Nancy Mongan, Kevin Borselli, myself, and Annette Hoppin. Thank you. Basically, we went over the wish list, you can call it, and curriculum for next year. They went over hiring a English language arts supervisor for K through, 5. And they also went over 2 academic coaches in mathematics and ELA down for the elementary school. After all, I want to build a good foundation down in that area. We went over Achieve 3000 reading program. I'm going to put Ms. Kibler on the spot for 2 more things to clarify over here. The Journey Literacy Program, grades 1. And they also came up and they want to hire another athletic trainer for next year. What happens is we have 2 trainers that are working with us full-time right now, and they're both stationed at the high school. But we have a lot of programs at the middle school, and there's really nobody covering these. So I'm all for hiring another athletic trainer to work with these people. Last year, we had 15 or 16 sections of auto shop, and what happens is one of the teachers did not come back this year, so that left a little void in that area. So I came up with a program or a course to replace that one section, which is 5 or 6 classes, and I'll explain it briefly. Okay, the name of the program would be Life Skills. The program would include the following. It would 2 marking period program, not a full year, because you don't want to burn these kids out or have them there, lose interest in it. It would go through basic auto technology, auto repair, where you're not going to pull an engine out and do the work, but how to check the oil on the engine, where to put your antifreeze in there, how to change a flat tire, how to change or check the pressure in a tire. After all, we're in 4 seasons over here. In the summertime, what happens with the tires? They expand a little bit. In the wintertime, they deflate a little bit, a couple of pounds, so you should constantly check this out. This is just basic care of your automobile. This is something we do on a daily basis. Every one of us get up in the morning, and what's the first thing we do? We start up the car, and we go from point A to point B. So I want these kids to have a little understanding of how to change a flat tire and many other things. The reason why I came up with this is, I guess about 3 or 4 years ago, a couple, they broke down at the entrance of the school over here, a boy and a girl. Apparently he was a new driver, probably only 17 years old. And here he is, jacking up the car. He jacks it up, and he's loosening up the lugs on the tire, and the car falls back. To do it the right way, what you have to do is loosen up all the lugs first, then jack up the car, and pull off the tire. So these are all basic necessities that I think that we should know. Another thing, part of this program, since it's only a half-a-year program, is good example, I guess about 2-3 months ago, a friend of mine called me up, and water was leaking in his house through the ceiling. What happens is they had a bathroom up there. They had a copper pipe that burst in the ceiling. So what we had to do is we had to cut a hole around the pipe, about 2 feet by 2 feet, and luckily it broke at the fitting. It was soldered or brazed. So we went to Home Depot, picked up new, not the half-inch copper tubing with a couple of elbows, a acetylene torch, and we fixed it up. He saved himself about $400 or $500. I didn't do the spackling and the sheetrock work. That's up to him. These are the type of everyday things that we have to know when you own a home or whether you live somewhere on rent or what have you. Another portion of the program would be how to spackle, how to work with sheetrock work, how to work with insulation, how to do proper framing. In other words, 16-inch centers, because everything revolves around 4x8. How to run a simple one-way circuit switch and a two-way switch. If I'm coming into a room at one door and I'm going out the other door, I want to turn it off. Just simple items. We're not going to make electricians or plumbers out of these kids, but we want these kids to know what's going on. I feel that all the girls and the boys going through the system should take a program like this. This is why I want it at a half-year level. The exciting portion of the program is the youngsters would basically sit down on a CAD system and design a solar heating system, heating and cooling. In the summertime, what do? We want to turn the air conditioner on because we want to live comfortably and cool ourselves. In the wintertime, what's the first thing you do when it's cold? You turn the thermostat on or move it up a little bit. But do we know how this thing works? So to light the spark with these kids, we want them to design a system just like the spaceships have, where it's self-sufficient, can't use any fuel, any electricity. What happens is you pick up solar panels, you install them somewhere facing the southern exposure, and they will produce hot water and electricity, and that's how the system will work. And what the kids will get out of this is basic plumbing, sweating a pipe, and how things work. And that's basically what the program would cover. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. If I need help on this one, let's see. Okay, current projects. Uninterrupted power supply devices, networks support, network monitoring, enhancement of real-time student information systems to include sports sign up, right? I think that's the way it is. Elementary technology literacy curriculum update to reflect updates according to the state standards. Okay, technology module, grades 4 for study island to better, I guess, prepare for the park exam, which is coming up because this is a lot of excitement with the technology area. And also for the park exam, they would like to, I guess, additional items, which is keyboards, headphones, and microphones that we're going to need for this exam. Remember, this is the first year we're doing it, so I believe we're going to have a trial run before we get into it, but it's very exciting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Silikowski. Anybody else? Special committee reports? No,
Mr.
none at this time?
Sulikowski's handyman service is now in effect also? You know how to fix everything. I said, your handyman service.
Well, the person that has to teach this course has to be a handyman. You can't have an electrician because, it's too technical for the electricity. But to go through a six-month program or a half-year program, it's a little soup and nuts to make a good pot of soup. You need a little of everything. It'll help you survive in life later, believe me.
Nice analogy, Mr. Silikowski. I like the pot of soup. We did have a personnel committee meeting.
Oh, one more thing, I'm not finished.
Okay,
One of
I'm
the
sorry.
board members, I had a little conversation with the person in the beginning, and she never did this before, or the person never did this before. And what happens is, one of the switches went in the house. So this person ventured off, went to Home Depot, picked up a switch, went down, found out by trial and error where the current is coming from, which is the electrical panel box. This person shut the breaker off and put the new switch in, and it worked fine. She saved herself about $200, $250.
And I spent it on shoes.
Well, I tell my husband I trust him with my life, but not with electricity. So I know that that's a very specialized thing. Are the shoes comfortable, Ms. Mongan? Are the shoes comfortable?
Absolutely.
There you go. Okay, Personnel Committee, those are closed to the public because we do talk about staffing, and that's not for open use until we get a chance to discuss it amongst ourselves. There are a few things that I can discuss about what we talked about, which was some job descriptions. Some of those need to be rewritten and updated. There are a variety of job descriptions running from teachers all the way through clerical staff. You know, there's some might still even have dictaphone on there, and we need to move them into the 21st century. So some of those will be ventured into trying to update. We did discuss possible retirements and how that will affect future staffing, along with our budget process. We talked about some of the job postings, either due to retirement or resignations. We have quite a few medical leaves and some leave of absences. That's creating a disturbance in the force because as much as everyone is entitled to be out, they say they'll be out for 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks comes along and their doctor has not cleared them, and they're out another 2 weeks. So we need to continue to repost or extend substitutions. So that was a discussion. And a lot of this will be coming into the Finance Committee meeting because anything that has to do with staffing will have to do with a large proportion of the budget, and therefore it will be run through Finance. So that's about as detailed as I can get for the personnel meeting. Okay. We're up to facilities use. Is there anybody that has any further questions? That we did discuss that at a meeting last week. Trying to get a handle on making sure that that becomes a little more equitable, fair and equitable for everyone. We did, I guess a month ago, extend some of the hours so that some of the recreation programs and the PTAs it's fair and equitable for all the elementary schools. Is that right, Mr. Mara? Okay, so every building is now open until?
All the elementary schools are now open until 9 o'clock each night.
9 o'clock for the elementary schools, so that should help out either Rat Mats or the Old Bridge basketball, indoor soccer, PTAs, or anyone else. Okay. Hearing of residents at this time. Is there anybody that would like to come to the podium and speak? I see Dr. Ferry moving forward.
Hi, good evening. On behalf of the Old Bridge Administrators Association and all of the principals and vice principals, I'd like to congratulate Donna Kibler on her pending retirement. Ms. Kibler began her career in education, as you heard, an astounding 47 years ago. She was a successful, talented, and committed teacher. She earned the love of kindergarten children, and as colleagues at Voorhees share, was revered as an extraordinary fifth-grade teacher. Not surprisingly, she became a principal and served as an outstanding principal of both Shirah and Southwood schools. Ms. Kibler was promoted yet again to Director of Elementary Education before her final promotion to Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction. Donna Kibler has left a legacy that has impacted thousands upon thousands of children, colleagues, parents, and adults. She's been a mentor and inspiration for me personally and for many principals, teachers, students, parents, and members of our community. It's rare to find any educator who has served in this field for 47 years. What is so impressive about Donna is that she never let up during any of these 47 years. She didn't cruise into retirement. She has put in countless late hours, day after day, year after year, and she has dedicated so much of her life to this profession and the children in schools of Old Bridge. Doing what was best for children was always her #1 priority, and was the compass that drove her decision-making. Her work ethic is hard to match, and she demonstrated to all of us what service to the profession means. Her professionalism, passion, dedication to Old Bridge, and wisdom gained over 5 decades in education will make her shoes impossible to fill. But in her footsteps, she has left her imprint and a legacy that has helped make our district the tremendous district that it is today. Her lessons will continue to teach us for years to come. Thank you, Donna, for all you've taught us and given to us.
Thank you, Dr. Ferry, and members of the Old Bridge Principals Association. I certainly appreciate your comments, and it has certainly been a pleasure and an honor to work with each and every one of you, for I have learned from you as you have learned from me, and I think that's what our district is all about. We've always learned from one another, and we've given our heart and soul to the children and the parents of the district, so I thank all of you.
Is there anyone else out in the audience? Ms. Walsh, you're coming forward. Are you speaking? No, I'm just going to Okay. Anyone else? Yes, we have somebody coming down. Come on down. I could have done that.
Good evening. My name is Teresa Francie, and I am the director for Old Bridge Lacrosse, the youth lacrosse. And I know one of the agenda items is to deal with coaches. And I would like to respectfully request that the board consider hiring an assistant coach for the varsity. There's a couple of reasons for this. One is that lacrosse is one of the fastest growing sports in the country and in New Jersey. And we have seen momentum with the Old Bridge High School lacrosse. My son plays on the lacrosse team. He's a sophomore. He was a freshman last year. His name is Thomas Francie. And many of the players that you see go through, my husband and I have coached through the youth lacrosse. And there are many of those kids that are in the youth program and in the middle school program that have hopes of playing in the high school. And because there's just not enough coaches, they're getting cut. And they're not able to play, and they really want to participate like the other kids in other sports do. Also, many of the teams that we're seeing are playing JV and varsity at the same time, and we are unable to do that in times when we're playing the varsity because the offensive coordinator has to leave the varsity in order to coach the JV. And it leaves a huge hole in our varsity and puts them in a bad position and unable to do the best that they can and to perform the best that they can for the school. Also, the GMC tournaments, the JV plays the day before, and many times our JV is unable to participate because we cannot let the coaches leave the varsity because we're trying to prepare them. We can't let them leave the varsity in order to help the JV get ready for to the tournament. And for those of you who may not know the momentum that the high school has been getting, in 2013, the Old Bridge varsity team were GMC champions. Last year, we were division champions. We made it to the GMC finals and lost by 1 point to St. Joe's. And we also made it to the semifinals of the state, something that we had never done before. So we are having a momentum, and I'd like to see that momentum continue. And on behalf of the players and the parents of Old Bridge, I would really like for the board to consider bringing on an assistant varsity coach in order to help support the kids of the community. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Did we discuss this? Not openly. Okay. At this point, we thank you very much for coming and for your comments. We will take that up either through finance or through our athletic committee meetings. Okay, but thank you very much. And it is well noted that the lacrosse is an extremely successful program in Old Bridge. So thank you very much.
You can say it's something we've discussed already.
We have begun to discuss it. I'm getting the words from legal counsel and the superintendent. We have discussed it. It's in the discussion phases. So I have no solution that I can tell you at this time, but it is under discussion. So thank you. All right. I don't see any other person looking to come down to speak, so we'll move in. I'll close that portion, and we will move into policy. We have nothing to review at this time. Curriculum, and curriculum is numbers 1 through 8. I have 8 and 9 with an addendum, and I think there's administrative corrections as well that should have already been taken care of. So I need a motion for that.
Mongan will move.
Thank you, Ms. Mongan. I need a second. Thank you, Ms. Hartman. Any discussion? I guess after all this curriculum, we'll be good for 3 to 5 years with all this writing. So, all right, no discussion. Mr. Mara, roll call.
DePrima,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Hopman,
Yes.
Mongan,
Yes.
Solikowski,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Porcelli,
Yes.
Andriani.
Yes.
Resolutions 1 through 9 pass.
All right, thank you very much. Athletics, just number one, variety of spring coaches. Okay, Mrs. Andriani can't make her own motion.
Then we'll make a motion, athletics, item 1.
Mr. Dunn, thank you very much. I need a, Andriani will second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Dunn,
Yes.
Hopman,
No vote.
Mongan,
Yes.
Solikowski,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Porcelli,
Yes.
DePrima,
Yes.
Andriani.
Yes.
Resolution 1 passes.
All right, thank you very much. Finance, 1 through 9,
10.
1 through 10, with an addendum.
Mongan will move.
Thank you.
Then we'll second finance.
Thank you, Mr. Dunn. Any discussion? Roll call, Mr. Mara?
Hopman,
Yes.
Mongan,
Yes.
Solikowski,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Porcelli,
Yes.
DePrima,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Andriani.
Yes.
Resolutions 1 through 10 pass.
Thank you very much. Non-certificated personnel, office number 1 and 2. 1 and 2.
Mongan will move.
Thank you, Ms. Mongan. Ms. Hartman will second. Thank you very much. Any discussion? Mr. Mara?
Mongan,
Yes.
Solikowski,
Yes.
Weber, Porcelli,
Yes.
DePrima,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Hopman,
Yes.
Andriani.
Yes.
Resolutions 1 and 2 pass.
Thank you. We have no operational agenda items, non-certificated personnel, other, numbers 1 through 11.
Mongan will move.
Thank you, Ms. Mongan.
Hartman will second.
Thank you, Ms. Hartman. Any discussion? Mr. Mara, roll call.
Solikowski,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Porcelli,
Yes.
DePrima,
Yes.
Dunn,
Yes.
Hopman,
Yes.
Mongan,
Yes.
Andriani.
Yes.
Resolutions 1 through 11 pass.
Thank you very much. Certificated personnel, 1 through 21.
Dunn will move certificated personnel, items 1 through 21.
Okay. With administrative corrections, there were a few. And I need a second.
I'll second it, and I would ask the president to read item 2.
Read item 2. Read item 2. Retirement? Okay. Okay, any other discussion? All right. I will read number 2 at this time. Move the board approve the retirement of the following staff members with deep appreciation for their years of dedicated service to the district. We have a Patricia Nardone, who was with us for 13 years, third grade at Chara. And we have a Cheryl Greenfeld, who was at Memorial in Cooper, and 36 and a half years of service. So thank you very, very much for being a loyal and trusted employee for all of that time. And thank you very much, and good luck on your retirement and wherever that path may take you. And at this point, I really should read number 1 as well, although everybody seems to know about that one. Move the board approve the retirement of Donna M. Kibler, Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction, effective February 1st, 2015. And we thank her for her 46 and a half years of dedicated service to the district and the children of Old Bridge. Thank you very much, Ms. Kibler. And that's quite a career. Okay. Mr. Weber, you seconded at the same time, did you not? Yes. So we have Mr. Weber as a second, and no further discussion. Roll call, Mr. Mara.
Silikowski?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Porcelli?
Yes.
DePrima?
Yes.
Dunn?
Yes.
Hopman?
Yes.
Mongan?
Yes.
Andriani?
Yes.
Resolutions 1 through 21 pass.
Thank you. We have non-certificated personnel transportation, number 1 and 2.
Mongan will move.
Thank you, Ms. Mongan. Thank you, Ms. Hopman. Any discussion? Mr. Mara, roll call.
Weber? Yes. Porcelli?
Yes.
DePrima?
Yes.
Dunn?
Yes.
Hopman?
Yes.
Mongan?
Yes.
Silikowski?
Yes.
Andriani?
Yes.
Resolutions 1 and 2 pass.
Thank you. Supplies, equipment, and services, 1 and 2.
So moved.
Who was
Second.
that? Mr. Weber and Ms. Mongan, second. Any discussion? No? Anybody need a sewing machine? Okay. Roll call, Mr. Mara.
Porcelli?
Yes.
DePrima?
Yes.
Dunn?
Yes.
Hopman?
Yes.
Mongan?
Yes.
Singh? Oh, I'm sorry. Silikowski?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Andriani?
Yes.
Resolutions 1 and 2 pass.
Thank you. Transportation 1 through 4. Thank you, Ms. Hopman.
Dunn will second transportation, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Dunn. Any discussion? Mr. Mara, roll call.
Porcelli?
Yes.
DePrima?
Yes.
Dunn?
Yes.
Hopman?
Yes.
Mongan?
Yes.
Silikowski?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Andriani?
Yes.
Motions 1 through 4 pass.
Thank you very much. Miscellaneous. 1 through 13. I need a motion.
Mongan will move.
Thank you, Ms. Mongan. Andriani will second. Any discussion? Please make sure that your names are listed for any committees that you have attended. Mr. Silikowski, thank you very much for continuing to volunteer to be our representative to the Middlesex Regional Educational Services. Board members, they needed to know by January 1st, so we asked Mr. Silikowski if he would continue, and he graciously accepted. Okay. Mr. Mara, we're ready for a roll call.
DePrima?
Yes.
Dunn?
Yes.
Hopman?
Yes.
Mongan?
Yes.
Silikowski?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Porcelli?
Yes.
Andriani?
Yes.
Resolutions 1 through 13 pass.
Thank you very much. Any other board business, Mr. Mara?
Just under new business, I included in each one of the board members' packets a proposed schedule of meetings for calendar 2015. It's fairly consistent with what we've done this entire year. However, I just noticed there's a typo. The proposed date for the public hearing on the budget is Wednesday, April 29th, which is one day after our regular action meeting on the 28th. So that's the only thing that's a little unusual there. I'd always like to keep the public hearing a specific meeting by itself. The April 28th meeting is very similar to a reorganization meeting where we reappoint professional services, bank accounts, and that kind of thing. So consistent with what I think the Finance Committee requested is that we have the budget hearing prior to April 30th to avoid the situation that developed last year by having it after May 1st. So this, I would just suggest that if there are any board members who have issues with these dates, let me know. Otherwise, these dates will appear on the reorg agenda for January 6th.
I I will not discuss Mrs. Kibler's retirement under old business. It will be new business. I wish you well, Donna, in your retirement. Thank you for your contributions to the district and the community. And as you stated at the agenda, I hope you enjoy your retirement to the fullest.
Okay, I echo Mr. Weber's words on this one. Also, I'd like to congratulate all the youngsters that performed this evening. Congratulations to them. They did an outstanding job. And the instructor that's teaching them. Good luck to all our retirees and our new hirees. And may everybody have a safe and happy holiday. Wesołych świąt for all you people that speak both the language, like Polish or Russian, you'll understand what I say. Wesołych świąt, dla lepszego, wszystko. Dziękuję. You understand what I said? Good. It's happy holidays, Merry Christmas, may everybody come back safely.
Okay. I'd also like to acknowledge that tonight is the first night of Hanukkah. So to all our friends out there that celebrate, light your menorah. And at my Christmas table, I always have potato latkes fried in oil. That's the best way to make them. And to everyone, hope you all have a happy, healthy Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever holiday you celebrate. Do it with friends and family. And a happy new year, and we'll see you in 2015. And Donna, we'll see you then too, up until February, so we'll have one more month. And I want to wish you the best in your retirement. Happy, healthy, 46 years of retirement, okay?
All right, Mr. Andriani, I need like 2 minutes. I just want to start by saying, on behalf of the Cliffwood Beach Neighborhood Association, I'd like to thank Mr. Cittadino and his son Joseph, Mr. Simmons and the Cloud9 Band, Mr. Updegraff and the Old Bridge High School Choir, Board of Education-elect member Kelly Ellis Foster, and Ms. Gramada for attending our first annual holiday bonfire last Saturday. It's really nice to see the school involved with the community, especially somebody like Ms. Gramada. She didn't even take over yet in Cooper, and she's already involved with the community. Thank you all. John Shamus, I don't know if you're watching. I regret not being able to be there this afternoon, but I did have the privilege of seeing your app a couple of weeks ago at a PTSA meeting, and I mean, I consider myself pretty computer literate, but you're amazing. I wish you nothing but the best of luck in your future, which I'm sure you don't even need the good luck because it's going to be there. It was a great job, and thank you so much for your help. Mr. Silvestri, I know hopefully you're watching this at home with your mom. We hope all your dreams come true. I'm very proud to have you as a student of this district and also as a neighbor. AJ lives up the block from me. Thank you to the band tonight for another wonderful performance. We expect nothing but anymore because it's always great. Ms. Kibler, as everybody else has said, thank you so much for everything you've done. It won't be the same not seeing you here, but enjoy your retirement and good luck to you. Happy Hanukkah to those who celebrate. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. Happy holidays to everybody else. And a healthy, happy, and safe New Year to everybody.
Thank you, Mr. DePrima. Ms. Hartman?
Yes, first I would like to commend John this afternoon, or this morning. I had the opportunity of going over to the high school and listening to his presentation with the app program, and it absolutely amazed me how well he presented the program. And, you know, he's got such a wonderful, bright future ahead of him. And the way he did the presentation, he's just certainly a people person. His personality went above and beyond. And I just want to congratulate him and wish him the best of luck going forward. I'm sure he's going to do very, very well in the future. Also, I wanted to thank the ladies and gentlemen tonight who entertained us. I think you guys did a wonderful job. You always do a wonderful job, and I want to thank you for having the opportunity of coming tonight to listen to you play. Also, Ms. Kibler, I'm very saddened to see that you are going to be retiring. We go back a very, very long way. I had the opportunity of having Ms. Kibler teach my children at Southwood School, and that was where I first got to meet her. And We've had an exceptional relationship from that day on. She was a wonderful teacher. I had the opportunity of speaking to many parents in reference to Ms. Kibler when she was a teacher and then when she became the principal of Southwood School. And I know that you are going to be sadly missed by a lot of the parents and a lot of the students that you taught and then were a principal of over at Southwood School. Like I said, I'm saddened to see you go. I know eventually everybody has to retire, and it's going to be very, very difficult to replace you with everything that you have done for this district for the 46 and a half years that you have been here. And I want to personally thank you for everything that you have done for the children and the parents of this school district. You went above and beyond many, many times on many different things that I could attest to, knowing you as long as I have. I want to wish you all the best in the future. And like I said, you're going to be sorely missed by myself. I mentioned it to my children today. They just couldn't believe it, okay? And so, you know, just good luck, Donna, and I hope that, you know, your ventures going forward, that you have great expectations and you go forward and that you're happy in what it is that you do. And just knowing that your legacy here, okay, goes far beyond, should be enough for you to know, okay, how much you are going to be missed. And I thank you very much for that. Also, I would just like to wish everyone a happy, healthy, and safe holiday and a new year, and we look forward to seeing you back here again in January of 2015, okay? And please come out. Any positive that you may have, this community loves to hear the positive. The children love to hear the parents get up and speak about the things that they do and about the teachers that they have. Okay, and we all love to hear the positive things that go on, and there are many, many things that have gone on that are very positive. So please come forward, okay, and bring those positives to the public so that they know what a great school district this is. And just the employees that we have alone, what wonderful employees we have helping us educate our children in Old Bridge, and I thank you all for that. Other than that, hopefully, everybody will have a safe and happy holiday, and I will see you in January. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hartman. Mr. Dunn?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight is a very sad evening for me personally. The two reasons why it's sad is because we've lost two extraordinary administrators. One being Donna Kibler. She's given almost 47 years of her life to the residents and students into this school district, and that's incredible. When someone could dedicate themselves that long, that really speaks volumes about their character. And I've known Donna for about 4 years now, and I can tell you that I sincerely admire her. With her stance on kindergarten and the reading programs, the math programs in this district, I hit it off with her basically right away because I knew she was for the best of the children in this district. And I believe in my heart that we are where we are today with our elementary programs due to Donna Kibler. And I want to sincerely thank you, Donna. Also, we're losing an extraordinary principal in Dr. Susanna Miskowitz. She is a friend of mine. I've come to know her very well. And the 5 to 6 years that she's given the students of Cooper Elementary School is extremely valuable. She has done wonders with the school when she took over that position, and she's another woman who I look up to. And it's been a wonderful journey knowing these two extraordinary educators, and I've gotten to know many of you in the audience, especially the principals. I would visit the schools and also the administrators, and in my heart, we have the best team possible for our students and for our town to move forward in the future. Now, we need to remember that there's one common thread that holds us together. And I know that there's going to be, you know, discussion about where this district goes next year. And quite frankly, I won't be here next year to see this happen, but I want to make it very clear to everyone that the best thing that has happened is not only the administrators and the teachers and the principals that we have, but David Cittadino. He has given his heart, he has given his time, he has given all to this district. And we need to remember that he's the common thread that pulls us together. And to move this district in the future and continue to grow like we have in the last 2 years, David Cittadino is the right person. So I'm going to make sure that it's part of my responsibility as a citizen of Old Bridge that I stand up and fight for David, because I believe as a parent and an exiting board member that he's the future along with the wonderful administrators in this room. So with that, I want to say to David, the wonderful principals, the administrators, all the teachers, all the transportation individuals, all the custodial staff, that I thank you from my heart for the experience that you've given me over the last 4 years. It's been extremely humbling, and I can say that this is not goodbye, it's only farewell. And I'm just moving my seat from, I would say, the dais to the front row of the audience, because I will make sure everything we've done here in the last 4 years, we continue that movement, and I can voice my concern from the audience, which I will do. There is other things I want to wish, but at this point, I'm going to say that it's time for me to go off in the sunset. But I just want to wish everyone a happy and healthy holiday season, and I'll be seeing everyone real soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dunn. Mr. Vasili?
Yes, I'm going to start with Donna Kibler. Donna, I don't know what I can add to all the wonderful things that everybody said tonight. I completely agree with everything. I haven't known you as long as most of the people here, but I have known you for a number of years. And I met you before I was on the board as just a parent and a PTA president at my children's school. And you were always there for our children. Very caring and very informative, and you've taught me so much as a parent. You've taught me so much as a board member. You've added a lot of value to me as a person. I thank you for all you've done. The one thing that I can say about you truly is, the one thing I think of is the National PTA has a motto, and it's one voice, every child. And you have truly been that one voice for every single child in this district. And I can truly say that I feel that every child in this district has benefited because of you. And I thank you for that. Thank you. I think it's terrific, and I want to thank everybody that's taken part in the Character Ed program. I think it's been wonderful to really be able to highlight all the wonderful things happening in this district. I did get to see the video. I think that the video was absolutely amazing. And if you haven't seen it, I suggest that you take a look at it. It's just a great, great clip of just so many wonderful things happening in this district. And to one point that was raised tonight was, so many people saying that, they didn't realize what we have in this district and so many wonderful things going on. And I think that that's what the Character Ed program is really doing. It really is truly highlighting all of that, and the video is just another piece of that. So thank you to everybody that's really moving this program forward. And finally, I'd just like to thank the orchestra for performing tonight. They were terrific. I've been watching the orchestra now for 4 years, and it's just, in 4 years, it has grown immensely. 4 years ago, they started doing a holiday show, and I think the stage was maybe only about halfway full with students up here playing instruments. And now it is just stacked with students, and they sound amazing. The program is just growing exponentially, and I think that has a lot to do with how we start them a little bit earlier in the elementary schools, and we're getting the students interested in the music programs much earlier, and I think that is really benefiting our programs. So, I think that's something that we really want to continue to look at. But they did a terrific job. I thank them for that. So with that, I just want to say happy holidays to everybody. Have a safe time celebrating your holidays and celebrating the new year, and see you in January.
Thank you, Mr. Basili. As we come to the year's close, when most of us will be dreaming of sugar plums, there are a few district personnel that will be dreaming of park and a few other items, just because we take a little hiatus for the holidays and begin to reflect on all the things that are important with family, we come back and we hit the ground running come the beginning of January. So whether it's technology, whether it's ELA, whether it is math component, whether it is making sure the network and the wiring is up, from January to March, time goes fast. So I just want to impress upon all of you that there really is very little downtime when you start in September and you try and move through an entire year's worth of schooling by June. So I want to thank, we have quite a few of the administrators here, I want to thank you all for all the work that you do on a daily basis. Several years ago, the board as a whole decided to incorporate their goals and their resources to the whole child. And we get a lot of discussion, heated discussion, about how we were pulling money and resources away from academics. And tonight, in several items, you can see that in long-range planning, what we did was a phenomenal thing. We took what some people were calling the three-pronged approach, and we were looking to provide reasons and programs to hook, to grab the interest of our students so that it just wasn't core content. Granted, that's extremely important. But we did provide resources for our performing arts. And several years ago, we started a string program in the elementary school. Several years later, we now have a full orchestra. We put money, resources, commitment into athletics. We have a variety of championship teams. We didn't take anything away from academics, we just supported it. And on any college application, no matter what scholarship you're looking for, it doesn't just ask for academics. It asks for community service. Our peer program is phenomenal. Our character education program is phenomenal. We are providing all of the components for our students that are exiting at 12th grade to have great things on a college transcript and a resume. And you can't ask for anything better than that. And we're all in this together. Character ed, Dr. Hoker spoke about that. Today, since I've retired, I now have some free time, and I was very fortunate to be able to attend this night application apps. 6 months ago, I didn't know what an app was. And the young man is phenomenal, very successful. I see great things in his future. And one of the things that are on the application is a DTRT component, which is do the right thing. And on there is a list of students' names and some things that they have done. So Mary Jones is listed as turning in an iPod. And Maurice Gonzalez is on there for returning a wristwatch. Somebody else has got a pocketbook. Somebody else has returned, all of this brings us to where we are with our success of our children today. The next thing I need to talk about are ugly Christmas sweaters. Because I had a request that maybe we should have an ugly Christmas sweater board meeting. And I said, I can't speak about that, but we'd have to discuss that. So somewhere along the line, maybe next year, maybe we can have an ugly spring, I don't know. But it's out there. We'll discuss that another time. June 6th is our reorganization meeting. January 6th. Ooh, I don't know if I'm back 6 months or ahead 6 months, but January 6th, if anybody wants to come out, that's our reorganization meeting, and then the 13th is our agenda meeting. And with that, We have a lot of holidays that do meld together in the month of December. Hanukkah starts this evening. Christmas, of course, is coming, and there's a variety of other religious holidays that have ethnic origins, and I probably can't pronounce them correctly anyway. And whatever it is that you celebrate, I wish you a safe and joyous holiday season. Thank you very much. Mr. Sedino?
I'm going to hold off for a second. I know that Dr. Hoker has something she wanted to add.
Thank you. Again, I think everyone has shared, the well wishes for Ms. Kibler, and I have to share something that I associate with Donna that I know many of you out there will understand and relate to. As I became a principal, one of the things that I will always put with Donna is her love for books and reading, and the wealth of information that she always has had at her fingertips, and that what a resource she served as I became an administrator. And anytime I asked a question, she was able to say and reference, and I think this is very impressive, a book or an article, and would have that article, a copy of it, sent to you immediately, or send the book to you. Was always willing to share those books, and I've heard about her basement and her garage and all of these books, and I can only imagine what it is like, but I know she's certainly has shared those items. And it's very much appreciated, and it's always been impressive how you could remember all the details and the information and put it in context. And also, just Donna worked closely with my father for years, and I think he used to eat her lunch at one point, and heard many stories about that, but I only hope that you enjoy your retirement as much as he does. And I just wish you well wishes on this next chapter.
Thank you, Kathy. This has been an incredible evening, and I want to thank everyone for all your kind words and thoughtfulness. And I was deeply touched this evening by the turnout of the Voorhees School staff, because that's really where I started my career in Old Bridge at Voorhees School. I taught there for 25 years. And the wonderful support from the central administration secretaries. There are two women in my life, Donna Mullen and Diane Duffy. And, behind every success story, there's two great women, and they are my great women. And I can't begin to thank my friends, too, who came out this evening. And just everyone, you're wonderful. So thank you all so much. John Seamus did a wonderful job tonight. The orchestra was fabulous. I mean, our kids are the best because we have the best here in Old Bridge. And I wish the entire district much success in going forward, because we always come up smelling like a rose, and I want that to continue. And to thank you for all my colleagues tonight. Have a great holiday season. Really enjoy the spirit of the season.
Thank you, Donna. As the December, January season is the high holy days or the holidays that really bring families together for most of the world's religions. And in every other religion that I looked into, there's a word or a phrase for blessings. And that's what I was thinking about when looking at the culminating data from the character education application, whether it be the videos, the pictures of smiling children, having an opportunity to have AJ speak here. We are truly blessed to have the opportunity to work together as a family, and I don't say family as just the families of the people who live in this community, the people who live and spend their time in this community. We are truly blessed to be together, and I wish all of you a happy, holy holiday, no matter what holiday you're celebrating, and come back to us safe in January. Thank you.
I thank you, Mr. Sedino. At this point, Mr. DePrimo, do we have a motion for closed session? No. Merry Christmas. But I do need a motion to close the meeting.
I will make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. DePrimo. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you, Mr. Weber. All those in favor? Okay. The ayes have it. Mr. Mara. So moved. everyone.